If you want to smoke a cigarette that's mild and good tasting too, try pot. I did.
The miracle has happened, I'm a lyrical assassin with the lyrics that I thought up and these lyrics that I'm rapping. I'll be spitting till I slaughter all these bitches that be yapping. I'll be spitting till I fall off, but I don't think it will happen. Like the cake with the ice and I'm so enticing. When I'm rhyming, I shine like a diamond that's inside the lighting. Firing to the bars I'm writing, with vibesing, my ting, living shock lightning. Way better than these man when I just fuck around. Man, I'm coming straight in from the underground. If you man I hate me, tell a man to suck his mother out. Great, they just wonder how I come and slave with my tongue.
Hello and welcome to MoReece J TV, and shout out to all the Mo gang and all of you guys that ride with the Mo gang. I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in, especially to this one. Now, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for 100 Kufis sending me this shirt. I really love it. It fits perfectly. I went for the medium and the medium fits. It fits perfectly. Like I said, I'm a small guy. He said I'm like a little dog. He started barking. No, thank you so much, Kufis. 100%. Really like the shirt. It's a nice quality. Guys, make sure you, if you want to get some merch from 100 Kufis, hit him up, man. This is not the only style he does. He's got a ton of styles. Go hit him up. Different colours, different sizes. Some of them have I think 100 Kufis. You got the Kufis crew. I got this one. I like this one. And yeah, man, it's just making sure everybody knows the hashtag. So when I go out and wear this, everybody knows they need to check up on this hashtag and check out my man's music. But 100 Kufis, this is the title track from his album Blindfolds. Blindfolds dropped around February, March. Might be March. I think it might be between February and March. I remember promoting it on the Lyrical Assassins. I remember getting it. I stream it quite a lot on my Spotify. It's an awesome album. It's completely different. Like this album is crazy dope. Crazy dope. Now, because of everything that's been going on in terms of what's been going on in the USA following the death of George, rest in peace. I hate these situations because, you know, that a lot of positive awareness can come out of these situations, but so much friction comes with it. So much everybody looking at each other comes with it. And personally, I don't think we should be looking at each other for the problem. I think we need to start looking up at the people that are above us, like the media, like the government, like the law enforcements. We need to be looking to those guys that we place our trust in every day to ensure our daily lives operate in a way that's healthy and natural and, you know, stable. And they're not delivering, guys. They're not delivering, and this is just another area that they're always messing up on. The equality, you know, the way certain individuals get away with treating people, the way people are treated differently determining on who they are, what colour they are, where they come from, what their viewpoints are. It doesn't matter. Like, people get treated differently. Since I must admit, like, the more I see people pushing equality, the more inequality I see. I notice this. I'm sure you all notice this. People pretend that it's getting better. It isn't. It isn't getting better. You only have to speak to people of colour and listen to their experiences and see things going on like now to really understand that nothing has got better. It just gets polished up once in a while, you know. And the government have got a great way of diverting our attention, especially as white people. Us white people were the biggest victims of being diverted from the facts of what's really going on. Which is a big shame, because our voices, when people talk about white privilege, our voices tend to be heard more than people of colour. That's wrong in itself, but it is also a fact. So we need to use our voices to say that not only are people of colour fed up now, they've been fed up for a hot minute, but we're fed up too, and we're not standing for it. The real power in this world is us, the people, but we don't use it because we're so divided. And this is why the government will jump on shit like this, because they love the division. They want every black person to think every white person is racist. They want every white person to think black people can't be trusted, or this, that and the third. They want us to be divided. They want us to be cautious of each other. They don't want us united. They really don't. They pretend they do with these little, you know, these little messages they like to put out, like, oh, equality, diversity, blah 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 blah. But behind the scenes, shit like this goes on, and it gets brushed under the carpet. So anyway, I ain't gonna go too far into it. I mean, I could go on all day with how much this needs to be addressed. So we're going to check out this track right here. Now, obviously, I've heard the album, I've heard this track before, and it's a fantastic track, and it is relevant to you know, everything that's going on. So please listen to the lyrics. I'll stop and pause from time to time, but really I want you to hear the track. So without further ado, guys, this is 100 Kufis with Blindfolds. Shout out Kufi crew, and thank you for my shirt, Kufis. I love it, I really do. Thank you so much. Let's go.
He who fears will suffer. Already suffers because he fears.
He who fears will suffer. Already suffers because he fears. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because if you're scared, people who are scared don't fight. People who are scared don't stand up. People who are scared don't ask for things that they feel that they're entitled to. This is the, you know, the system is very unforgiving. The system is very unforgiving, and it will walk all over you if you let it. And the people in the system will push their agendas as far as they can till they're stopped. So don't be scared. Stand up, speak your mind, tell them what you think. You know, create a little, not an army. I'm not talking about going out and doing the looting thing and all that. Don't do no looting and all that. That ain't going to do shit. They're only going to take it out of all of our tax money at the end of the day, no matter who you are, what colour you are. They're just going to pay for it out of, you know, the hard-working man. So don't do that. But just be annoying, be persistent. Keep raising your voice, keep talking, keep exercising your right. Don't comply with their system that doesn't treat you fairly.
If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think. You must got your blindfold on, you can't see. Hands behind his head, they told that man freeze. Staring into space like no, this can't be. They just sprayed his face with maze, he can't breathe.
Wow. So they've just come at the man, you know, no reason. He hasn't resisted. They've just come at him, sprayed him with the mace. Just completely, it goes beyond unreasonable force. It becomes it's an evil. It's not an unreasonable force. It's an evil. Unreasonable. I hate words like unreasonable force. You know, unreasonable. It's just like throwing sugar on shit. Like, say what it is. It's fucking evil bullshit. That's what it is. It's not unreasonable force. It's bullshit. It's bang out of order. It's wrong, and it needs to be addressed instantly.
You must got your blindfold on and can't see. Hands behind his head, they told that man freeze. Staring into space like no, this can't be. You must got your blindfold on. Everything is recorded, nobody interferes. Some people rather ignore it like they was never there. They shot that.
Yeah, and that's going back to the fear. The fear that he addressed at the beginning is why some people don't get involved. Ignorance as well. Ignorance. It's like, oh, like you see some white people will see something happen to the black community or within the black community or to a black individual, and they're like, they're either scared to get involved because they're white, or they're too ignorant to get involved because they're white. That's not saying white people don't care, but what it is we see it, oh, it's not our problem. It's not our problem. We're not going to get involved. Some people do that. You know, oh, you know, they split themselves into categories. Like I'm only bothered about these problems, and these people over, I'm only bothered about these problems, all ignorant of each other. Remember what I believe it was Martin Luther King. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it was him. Martin Luther King said, in Injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice everywhere. So always stand together in times like this. Always.
Man on that corner and they just left him there. He died in front of his daughter and they ain't shed a tear. If you don't think that shit.
Wow, man. There's just no. Died in front of his daughter. Think about that for a minute. If you've got kids. So it's just happened to you in front of your kids. I've got a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. One boy, one girl. They'll be fucking broken for life, I tell you that. They'll hate the system immediately if that ever happened to me. So go figure, man.
Is evil, then you cold-hearted. They think it's legal to treat my people like open targets. I don't know what to call it, but I know it's so retarded. Most folks see a post and don't focus on it. They ain't your son that got slammed on.
Most folks see a post and don't focus on it. True. It's true. How many times have you scrolled because the message looks too long? Like you've seen a post and you know it's important, or you know it's addressing something serious, but now you scroll on because you're looking for that funny meme. You're looking for that, you know, that entertainment. You scroll past all the important shit. How many people do that? Lots of people do that. I've done it, so I ain't gonna lie. I've done it plenty of times. I've been scrolling through. It could be Facebook, Instagram, and it's like I already know what I'm looking for, and I ignore everything else, and I could be missing some important shit. I've done it plenty of times. We all do it. You just need to be aware of it, and you need to take awareness to what you're not seeing.
His face by a cop. He ain't even have his hand on his waist and got shot. If you don't think that shit is evil, then you just as bad. You might be a little.
Yeah, of course. If you're willing to let that go, you're just as bad. You're part of the problem. You have to do something. Well, you know, no matter how big or small, it doesn't matter. Everybody has some form of impact if you shout loud enough. This is why we don't have any justice in this world, because everybody is so singular in how they deal with things. Politics, religion, race, sex. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everybody's so singular. They only think of their individual concerns. They don't think of the overall picture. You know, if they can do some shit like that to a person of colour, they'll get to the point they can do that shit to anybody. If you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, anybody. Whoever don't fit in their agenda will be picked on that day, knowing that everybody else ain't going to give a fuck.
Racist though, just a tad. I want to blame that shit on Trump, but this has been an issue. They want to blame.
That's a fact. I mean, I ain't going to sit there and say that, you know, Trump's the greatest president of all time. I'm not American. I know lots of people that hate Trump. I know lots of people that love Trump. I know lots of people that are on the fence. Get it with every politician, no matter how good, how bad. Before Trump, I think it was George Bush who was the most hated president, and then, you know, Trump basically come out and said, hold my beer, I can beat that shit. Like Obama, to be honest, I didn't really notice Obama much. Didn't really hear him come up. The only time Obama pissed me off is when he come over here and said his little speech about our Brexit decision, which really pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck's it got to do with you? You ain't got to live here under the fucking EU rules. So you know, but at the same time, you know, I don't pay massive attention to it. But what he's saying there about, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of people that go, oh, Trump, as if to say, like, Trump is responsible. Trump is responsible for what is going on now. Yes. He's responsible to deal with what is going on now, you know, as and when it comes. Facts. But what Kufis is saying, this has been going on for fucking generations. This has been going on for generations. No single president is responsible. The system and those who work within the system are responsible, and each and every one of us are responsible for making sure that the system doesn't treat people like that.
That shit on us because it's beneficial. Sending that black man to jail is how he earn his bread. You hear that man ask for help, you rather turn your head. Thanks to social media, cause they don't play fair. Land of the free, but I don't even feel safe here. How can you watch them videos and not shed a tear? Like when that lady beat that baby in that daycare. You must.
I didn't see that. I'm guessing that happened over there. I mean, sometimes stuff makes it over here, especially on social media. I tend to find out more of what's going across the pond on social media, which I'm very aware I have to take with a pinch of salt, because social media, they're riddled with bullshit. And to be honest, so is the mainstream media. It's very hard to find reliable sources nowadays. I tend to go to independent journalists. Like, I look up independent journalists, people that, you know, really do go out there on the grind and try and deliver the true messages that they come across. And there's a lot more shady shit going on than the mainstream media will let you know. They'll only let you know about the shady shit that they want you to react to, because they want to push their agenda. That's a fact. It don't matter. You don't need to be a conspiracy theorist to know that. Everybody knows that's a fact. I mean, if you don't know that's a fact, you need to get up from under that rock, because they've been doing it for a hot minute. And I think more and more people are becoming aware of that now. Whether you believe in conspiracy theories or not, we know the media bullshits. But that daycare thing, man, that's deep.
Got your blindfold on, you can't see. Hands behind his head, they told that man freeze. Staring into space like no, this can't be. They just sprayed his face with maze, he can't breathe. You must got your blindfold on and can't see. Hands behind his head, they told that man freeze. Staring into space like no, this can't be. You must got your blindfold on. You don't wanna see the problem, you just wanna brush it off. Even when you read about it, all you do is shrug it off.
Yeah. You just, yeah. How many people, let's just say nobody went out and started standing up for what went on recently. Let's just say nobody left the house. People of colour, white people alike. Let's just say nobody did. How many of you would really be calling to go out there right now and do something? Really? If nobody else took the first step. Would you be the one to take the first step? Just a question.
You can't even see the bottom, but you wanna crush them all. You don't wanna think about them, you just be like, fuck them all. If you don't think this shit is evil, you a Trump supporter. How can you watch a man drown and not jump in the water? How can you watch a man drown and put it on recorder? I think America is really getting out of order. Whatever.
And I hate to say it, Kufis, but it's not just America, man. I think the whole world right now. I mean, it don't matter where you go. It's the same old story, especially in the first world. Like your country, my country, the rest of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. No matter where you go, it's the same old story. You know, people of colour being mistreated. They get mistreated in their own fucking countries, man. This is what we forget. They don't just get mistreated here. They come, you know, we gave them no choice but to have to, you know, come to, you know, foreign lands to survive. And then they get penalised for that. They get penalised in their own country. And then they make the effort and they get penalised in everyone else's country as well. It's like they can't go nowhere without being penalised just because they're a person of colour. This is, I mean, you look at the state of a lot of places in Africa and Asia, and then you look at a lot of the communities that are predominantly people of colour over here in the UK or over in the States. The poverty levels are off the scale. You know, they didn't even. And the way they get treated differently, you know. I know if I get pulled by a police officer, it's going to be a short conversation and I'll be on my way back home. But I don't think any person of colour can say that as confident as I can. That's a problem.
What happened to the heroes and good guys? It takes for a black death to make the hood rise. We need more guys like Wild.
Takes a black death to make the hood rise. That's eye-opening shit. So he's not just saying that, you know, that the problems with, you know, just the system and white people and, you know, people that it doesn't directly affect. It affects, but it doesn't directly affect. He's talking about the people it directly affects as well. Don't do nothing until it's done. You know, you need to be crying out for. You need to be venting and raising your voice and crying out for your freedom and equality before this shit happens.
Low with mics on, to shed light, somebody gotta turn the lights on. Fight for your rights, if it ain't right, we gotta make it right. Now ask yourself, do you really feel safe at night? If you don't think this shit is evil, then you brainwashed. How can you grow up and get murdered on your same block? I know it's easy just to watch.
Now that I can relate to. I grew up in the East End, and a lot of shit would go down. A lot. Lost a lot of friends. Some of them were murdered on their parents' doorsteps, you know, on their parents' doorsteps. They were gunned down, stabbed to death, beaten to death. I think one of my friends was murdered at his own 18th birthday party just because he stepped outside for a cigarette. Somebody asked him for a cigarette, he said no. They stabbed him to death. But that's irrelevant to what he's saying here. He's talking about, you know, if you grow up in a community, you should feel protected by that community. And when you realise you're not, security has gone out the window. It's literally a fight for survival now.
From your iPhone, but you don't care because you in a different time zone. It ain't your daughter or your son, so why would you cry to make it disappear? You just gotta close your eyes.
So he's talking about people across the world, across the US, you know, across the world. You know, just we're in a different time zone. We're not in that area. So why are we worried it didn't happen anywhere near us? That bullshit. No, this is one planet, man. This is one planet, and it goes on across the planet. It's just one example. What you've been given is an example of what's been happening all the time for a long time. It's just that this situation was put out there because it was cool on camera. That is just it, because it was cool on camera.
You must got your blindfold on and can't see. Hands behind his head, they told that man freeze. Staring into space like no, this can't be. They just sprayed his face with mace, he can't breathe. You must got your blindfold on. You must got your blindfold on. You must got your blindfold on. So please take your blindfold off.
Tough track, definitely hits harder now after everything that's been going on and everything I've been seeing and hearing. Definitely hits harder. Definitely, there was a deeper meaning to this track, and that's just an example of what he's saying. I mean, when I first heard this track, I took it as a great track with a great story, very clever, very explanatory. But now shit popped off. I listened to this track and I'm like, wow. But really, I should have been less ignorant before, you know, and understood this track further, because what everybody's protesting about right now has been happening for a long time. It's never stopped. We just happened to catch this motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? We happened to catch these motherfuckers this time. But like, it goes on all the time. I had a story. I think I was in King Blitz's live. And I mentioned the story, and it's a true story. It was about when we got me and my friend. I'm a white dude. He was a Jamaican dude. I say he was a Jamaican. He still is, obviously. He's a Jamaican dude. And we had some marijuana, and we were smoking a spliff. We were sharing the joint. We were sharing it. I was walking down the street. It was a quiet street. And car pulls up, you know, I throw it. It was in my hand. I threw it, and I quickly put my hands in my pockets because I knew I had rolling tobacco. What I was going to try and do, which nearly worked by the way, was sort of palm, you know, sort of like lie to the officers and say, oh no, it weren't a joint, it was a rolled cigarette, because they So anyway, they were talking to us. They could see that we was high. You know, they could obviously smell it. Stop and search was a thing at the time. It wasn't really enforced stop and search. They didn't have to search you. But they decided to. So they pull weed out of my pocket and arrested us both. Now, I was out, bearing in mind, I was the one holding it and threw it. I was the one that was going to lie about the rolling tobacco and say it was rolling tobacco to try and get away with it. When they searched us, it was my pocket they took it out of. Now, get this. I was taken to the police station and I was let out within 20 to 30 minutes. I was let out with caution. No fine, no criminal record, just a caution. My friend, who's Jamaican, was in there for six hours for questioning around where it come from, did he sell it to me, this, that and the third. Neither of us at that time had anything on our records to assume any of us were dealing. It was my first time I got caught with cannabis out on the street. I was out in 20 minutes. It was the first time he got caught out in the street smoking cannabis. 6 hours questioning. Guys, you've been watching MoReece J TV, and I thank you as always for watching MoReece J TV. Don't forget, guys, make sure while you're here, head down into the description, click on my LinkTree link. It's got our website on there. It's got our Lyrical Assassins Part 1 mixtape on there. It's got our hip hop shop on there. It's got our promotional pages and social networks and all that stuff on there. And it's also got our MoReece J TV merch store, our Teespring store on there. So go check that out. We've got our Lyrical Assassins line of merch, MoReece J line of merch, Mo Vaseline, all of that. So make sure you go check that out, guys. And if you're a big Eminem fan, go join my group on Facebook, Eminem Rap God. Just type that in on Facebook, go join that group over there and we'll take care of you. So guys, you've been watching MoReece J TV and I'll catch you again in a little bit. Take care, guys. This was absolutely lit. Amazing message.